take a look at 11.3 part 2. Okay, we already did part 1, so we're just going to start off with a kind of a warm-up review question. Okay, it's a graphing one. Okay, remember the first thing you need to do though when you're trying to get a graph is you've got to get it in this form. Okay, so let's take a look at our problem. Okay, it says 12x plus 2y equals 6.
This is slope-intercept form, right?
Yep, we got to get it in slope-intercept form. Is that equation in slope-intercept form?
No.
Nope. Slope-intercept form is when what is alone? Spencer?
Y.
Y. Okay, so let's do that first. Okay, and that's the hint. Get it in y equals mx plus b. Okay, who can tell me my first step to getting y alone? It involves something we have to move to the other side. Yeah.
Subtract 12x.
Good. Subtract 12x and 12x. That cancels out. What's left on the left side? Spencer? 2y. Elijah, can you tell me how to write the right-hand side?
Negative 12x plus 6.
Good. Everybody see how he did that? He put the negative 12x first, then the 6 after it, because the x comes first. Then the number comes after it.
Where should we put that?
If you have a blank piece of paper, you can put it on that. Otherwise, you could just watch for this one. Okay, is it in y equals mx plus b?
No.
Nope. Who can tell me my last step?
You
Go ahead, Brian.
divide by 2.
Divide what by 2? Everything. Divide everything by 2. Okay. Now reduce what you can. 2 divided by 2, that's 1. How about negative 12 divided by 2? Can you reduce that? What's negative 12 divided by 2, Marcus?
Negative 6.
6? What comes next to the 6? Negative 6. X plus Katie? What about 6 divided by 2? 3. Is that slope-intercept?
Yes.
Yeah, now we're good. Okay, so y equals negative 6x plus 3. All right, who can tell me my first step to graphing that? What's the first number you need to look at, and what do you do with it? Shelby?
3.
Yep, plus 3. What is the plus 3? That's my y-intercept. Okay. Who can tell me how I graph the 3? What do I do with it?
You go up 3.
Good.
Right.
Okay, so we go up 3. That's my y-intercept. Okay. What's the next number I need to look at? The negative 6. Okay. Somebody else tell me, what's the negative 6 called? Zay, you gave me this y-intercept, so that's good. How about somebody else give me the slope? Good, slope. Now it's not written as a fraction. So what number could I put to make it a fraction?
1.
Can always put a 1. Now it's a negative in the top, negative 6. That's the rise. Does negative 6 mean up 6
Down.
or down 6? Down 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what about the 1?
Go right over.
1 to the right. Okay. What's the last thing you need to do? Now you get your 2 points.
Right a line.
Make a line. Okay? So draw your line about, pretty close, about like that. Okay, any question on that? There's your line. Okay, so on the test, you're going to have to do that. Solve for y and graph. We did each one separately yesterday. This is the first time we did both together. Okay, questions? All right, so now on your note sheet. Okay, this is where you want to start filling in. So you should have a dotted rectangle, right at the top.
Yes.
We already used the formula today. But what's the equation for slope-intercept? Yeah, y equals mx plus b. Good, very good. So what we're going to do in this kind of problem, it's going to be just the opposite of the last one. I'm going to already graph it for you. You're just going to look at the graph, and you're going to tell me the y-intercept and the slope. Okay? So first thing you have to do is find the slope. If you're going to use this equation, there's 2 letters you need to figure out. You need to know what the m is, and the b. Let's start with the m. Okay, what's the ratio for slope? It's what over what? Rise over run. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now on the question, on the test, there'll be a question. What's the ratio of slope? So make sure you don't put run over rise. Some people flip it. It's rise over run. Okay, so we got to find m. Now we got to find b. Okay, so fill that in. What's b again? B is your y-intercept, and what does that mean? What does it mean, y-intercept? It's where what happens? It's where you put the dot, right? It's where your line crosses the y-axis. Okay, so you got to look at the graph, look where it crosses the y-axis, and that's your b.
Or
Where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, now once you have the m and you have the b, you're not done. You've got to write the answer. How do you do that? Take the m and the b and plug them in. Yep, you plug into our formula, y equals mx plus b. Leave the x and the y alone. Okay, you don't do anything with the x and the y. Just change m to whatever you find the slope, and b. Okay, and the slope is going to be very easy to find because there's going to be a line, and you're just going to look at the line, and you're going to count the rise, count the run, and that'll be your slope. Okay, any questions on what m is or how you find it, what b is or how you find it, or how you write your final answer once you have m and b? We're going to go through. We'll try two problems. Okay, on your note sheet, we're going to do. It says example 3A, 3B. Okay, I renumbered it in my notes to 1A and 1B, but it's the same problem. Or 2A. Sorry, 2A.
Where's this?
So should we bring to
You can leave yours as 3A. That's fine.
That's 3A.
That's fine.
Pretty sure that's
Yep.
3A.
It's the same example. I just renumbered mine. That's all.
Oh.
Leave yours the way it is. That's fine. Okay. So it says write the equation in slope-intercept form. Somebody tell me what's one of the two things you need to find. Just give me the first thing. Which is slope. What letter represents slope? M. Okay. What's the other letter we need to find? B. Who can tell me what the B is? That's your y-intercept. Okay. Let's look at our graph. Okay. What I've done is I marked it so there's two dots, so you can count the rise and the run. Okay. Who can give me just the rise between these 2 points? Start at the bottom one and then go up. So if you think you know your rise, raise your hand. Yeah, Isaiah.
3 over 2.
So what's my rise?
3.
Let's count. 1, 2,
Oh, wait, no.
3,
4
4.
over 2.
Okay, so we go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then over, you said which way?
2.
2?
Positive.
Positive. Now, which direction did we go for the rise? Did we go up or down? Is up a positive or a negative? Positive. Then for the run, which way did we go? To the right. Is right positive or negative? It's positive. So what does that come out to for a slope? 4 divided by 2. 2. Good. Okay, what's the B? That's my
-3.
y-intercept. Where is it?
-3.
Negative 1, 2, 3. So now how do we write the equation? How do we write the final answer, guys? So we got M, we got B, we've done the hard stuff.
Y equals 2x minus 3.
Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah,
That is correct.
that's the correct answer.
Yep, y equals 2x minus 3. Okay, any question on that? Okay, so we'll try one more of these, and then we got one more thing, and then we're going to do something a little different. Same directions. Okay, who can just tell me what are the two things you need to find? About Kate, can you give me one?
Guys, what are the two main things
Y.
of slope-intercept? Give me one.
X.
Give me one, Ryan. Slope, right? And guys, the ratio. Put your hand down for a second, Tyler. But thank you for volunteering. The slope. What ratio? Not to find slope, not the formula we use to find slope, but the ratio. How is slope represented? Not M, but how do we represent it? What's the ratio we use? No, not the slope-intercept form, not the formula to find slope. The first thing we talked about this week, say it, Caleb. Rise over run, right? Rise over run. So we have slope, rise over run. What's the other thing we need?
Y-intercept.
Y-intercept. Joseph, Joe Nerney. What does Y-intercept mean? It's the line doing something, correct? What is the line doing?
Back in your notes. We just did it today,
Today.
just on the last slide.
Crosses that Y-axis.
Yeah, we're across the Y-axis. Joe, is the Y-axis up and down or across? Is the Y-axis the one going up and down or the one going across? Anybody disagree with him? Kayla, what do you think?
Up and down.
The one going up and down. Joe, look at me. Think of the Y, right? It has a long end on it. That's how I remember, up and down. That's how I remember it's the long one, right? Y is the up and down. Tomorrow on your test, if you need to label X, because it's not going to be labeled on the test, label your X and Y so you don't make that mistake. So Joe just told us the Y-intercept is where it crosses the Y-axis. So, Isaiah,
Yeah.
can you tell me, stop messing around with your bag.
I was
bored.
putting something in it.
Stop messing around, stop getting attention from the girls and making them talk. All right, so my friend, for this one right here, what is the Y-intercept? Joe, what's the Y-intercept again?
Up and down.
And where what? Where it,
It's 1.
yep, again, it's 1, right? Because that's where it crosses the Y-axis. Good.
Now look at your slope. Look, before we even write down the number for slope, what kind of slope is this? Is it a positive or a negative? How do you know negative?
Because it goes down and then over.
It's it's slanting down. Good. So right away, put your negative. Okay. What's my rise between these 2 points? How do you know which way is rise? Up and down. Yep. So in this case, we're going down 1. Then what's my run?
Over 3.
Over, someone said it? Yeah, 3. Okay, so I got my slope, got my y-intercept.
Guys, remember, when you have that negative, you're only going to apply the negative to the top. You're only going to apply the negative to the rise, not the run. You're only going to apply it to the rise, not the run. On any type of question we ask, only apply the negative to the rise only. Okay? It's very important that you understand that. So that came up in the homework last night too. I want to show that.
All right, so who can tell me my final answer? What would be the equation of a line that's got a slope of negative 1/3 and a y-intercept of 1?
Y equals negative.
Yep, what did I say?
Y equals negative 1/3 plus 1.
Close, we lost something. Something's gone.
X.
But that's a positive 1.
X.
Negative 1/3,
Yeah,
x,
plus 1.
then a plus 1. Good. Don't forget, in that equation, Y and X should be in the final answer. If you're missing one, then it's going to be half credit. Okay, so it's Y equals, fill in your slope, put the X, fill in B. Okay, so far we've been talking about intercepts. What's the intercept that we've used a lot? Which intercept?
Y.
We've used the Y-intercept. Well, we could also use the X-intercept. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about what the X-intercept is.
Yeah, so
What do you-
guys, like it says on your notes, right? We can also graph equations using, we have a blank there. What are you gonna fill it in with?
Intercept.
Intercepts, good.
And what do you think that is?
Where the line crosses the X.
Say it a little louder.
Line where it crosses the X.
Yeah, it's where the line crosses the x-axis. Okay, generally it's not an intercept we use as much, but in the next two problems, we will use it.
Let's borrow this for a second, Mr. Hager. If you need to remind yourself, draw yourself a little coordinate grid, right? Joseph, which one's the X, up and down or across? That's the Y. What's the X? Across. Good. And then we just talked about the Y-intercept, right? Joe, did we just talk about that one?
Yeah.
What's the Y-intercept? Can you tell me again? All right, but what about if the x-axis or the x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis? What's the y-intercept? Yep, where the line crosses the y-axis. Again, if you know, a lot of you guys know what the how to label the axes, but if you don't, draw yourself a little coordinate grid. Which one's the y, Joe?
Up and down.
Up and down. There you go. Pass the torch to you, Mr. Hager.
Any questions on that? So make sure you know on your axes which way they go. X is horizontal, Y is vertical.
The next step, guys, we're going to get to is you're going to have to graph these, right? You're going to have to graph each of them. So obviously, where would you want when you find the x-intercept? Where would you graph it? Justin, where would you graph the x-intercept? Which axis?
Horizontal.
Oh, yeah, the one on the x-axis, right?
Yeah.
Shelby, if we find the y-axis, where would we graph that one? Which is up and down, right? Good, good.
And let me show you why finding the intercepts works. Okay. Let's say you find the point where it crosses the x-axis. Say it's over there. Then you find where it crosses the y-axis. Is that enough information to draw the line?
Yes.
Yeah, to draw any line, you only need 2 points. So if you can find those intercepts, that'll do it. Okay, those are the only 2 points you need. So we're not going to be worrying about slope in this problem. We're not going to need it. We're just going to need the 2 intercepts, wherever they happen to be. Okay, so how do you find the x-intercepts? Okay, I'm going to show you what you do. To find the x-intercept, let y equal 0. You're going to plug it into your problem, change y to 0, and then solve for x. Okay, so it's very easy. To find the x-intercept, plug 0 in for y, and then we'll solve for x.
Then guys, this is on your guided notes. It says to graph using intercepts, then you have a 1 with a blank line, then you have a 2 with a blank line.
How do you think we're going to find the y-intercept? It's very, very similar to how you find the x-intercept.
Change the Y to, or change the X to 0.
Change the x, yep, let x equal 0, and then what? A little more than that?
Oh, and then solve.
Yeah, and then solve for y. So to find the y-intercept, you're going to plug 0 in for x and solve for y. Make sure you write that down. Okay, people get a little confused on that. Because to find the y-intercept, you let x equal 0. But to find the x-intercept, you let y equal 0. So sometimes it doesn't quite make sense, but that's how you do it. Okay, now why would you graph it this way? We already have a way to graph it. That's what we've been working on the last couple problems. Well, sometimes this way is easier. Okay, think of this as it's a different tool. This is a different way to graph a function. Sometimes it's easier than using slope. Depends on the problem. To graph using intercepts, anywhere in those directions, did it say to solve your equation for y?
Yes.
Do you have to isolate y and get it in y equals mx plus b form?
No.
No. So remember all that work we were doing, trying to get y alone and do all that? When you use this method, you don't have to do that. You can leave your equation just the way they give it to you. You do not have to solve it for y. Okay? And that's going to save us quite a bit of work.
So you might want to add to your notes, guys.
Now, if we ask you to get it in y equals mx plus b form, that's a different problem. There will be some on the test you have to do that. But there'll be some where you don't. Okay?
It doesn't have to be, for that, when we ask you to solve for the x or the y-intercept, it doesn't have to be in slope-intercept form. You can just set one equal to 0, solve. After you've done that one, set the other one equal to 0, solve. No y equals mx plus b for that one. Mr. Hager and I have looked through the test. I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there's only one of those where you have to find the intercepts. There's only one. Right, but you still need to know how. Most of it's going to focus on the y equals mx plus b, but there will be one where you have to find where you have to find x and y intercept. Okay, just so you guys know.
You don't have that there.
Yep, sorry, mine says 3. That's fine. If yours, what does yours say?
Oh, wait, no, 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 no.
Oh, I didn't put, there's no number on it. Yeah, this one's 3. Okay, so let's find our x-intercept. Okay, how do you find your, somebody just tell me the step to finding the x-intercept.
Change the y to 0.
Yep, change the y to 0.
Guys, just for here, off of this part, you're just going to rewrite, because it's up here, just rewrite the equation, just so you can see it.
All right, go ahead. Somebody told me, how do you find the x-intercept? The x-intercept is on which axis? X-intercept is x-axis.
No tricks.
Y-intercept is y-axis. Now I'm asking, how do you find the x-intercept? Different question.
You change the y to 0.
Yep, change y to 0.
Guys, listen, keep the 2, and the only thing you're changing is the y. The y becomes 0.
Oh.
You're going to keep the 2, only the letter y will change, not the number with it.
So I'll put in parentheses, to find your x-intercept, set y equal to 0, plug it in. Okay, what happens when you do 2 times 0?
0.
0. So anytime you find an intercept, something's always going to cancel. Yep, it crosses out.
And then you do 3 divided by, right, you divide 3 by both sides.
Divide both sides, yep, by 3. So what's your x-intercept?
4.
4. Okay, now would that be enough information alone to graph the line?
If you had the y and the x-intercept only,
Yes.
would that be enough? What did Mr. Hager say earlier?
Just on the x part, not on the y.
We could graph it, we could plot it. We could plot it on the x-axis, but we couldn't do a line. How come we couldn't draw a line? How many points do we need for a line, guys?
2.
2, right? You'll find out when you become juniors, you take geometry, that's one of the postulates, all right? Through any line contains at least 2 points. You have to have at least 2 for it to be a line.
All right, so we got 1. We get the x-intercept. Okay. Let's find the y-intercept. How do I find the y-intercept?
Ben, what do you think?
Do x equals 0.
Nice.
Good.
So what would Mr. Hager's, if he wrote, can you tell him what to write for the equation? What would he start with?
2y.
Oh, what's the first? In the red, look at the red, Ben.
Oh, 3x plus
3, so what, okay, so 3. And what did you say about the x?
0
0, good.
plus 2y
Yeah,
equals 12.
it's perfect. Now, what should Mr. Hager do to that 3 with the parentheses and 0?
Multiply.
This, no, and then what does it become, Ben?
Cross it.
It's crossed out, it's gone, right? Now what, Tyler?
You divide to 2.
Awesome, very good.
Oh, and then 6, y equals 6.
Y equals 6. Okay. Now, who can tell me how to graph these intercepts?
Eli, can you tell Mr. Hager where to graph 1?
Which one?
We're going to do both, one at a
What you
time.
want, buddy, it's Christmas time.
Okay, he's going to do the Y-intercept. Where do I
There you
go?
Up 6.
And then what?
Make it dot.
Make a dot. Good.
Brian Martin, what about the x-intercept? Keep going. Up, down, left, or right? How many?
6.
We're doing the x-intercept.
4.
Stay with me.
So 4 to the right. Okay, now what?
You got visions of sugar plums dancing in your head.
Okay, so we got our 2 dots. What's my last step? Make a line. Okay. Any question on that? Okay, any question on how we did that? Okay, so I want to take maybe 4 minutes and show them something. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a clip, okay, from another school where they made a little video about how you do y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I want you guys to take a look at this.
Well, this word took the bills and this. Stop living your reasoning. Ministers of now open their minds. What we doing today? We're grabbing some lines and say, when a man this line was right, I said, you bet, look at all them boys go straight. How you like it now? When the country got the lines with our sisters. Just think, that's a test with these. Yeah, you gotta get this. Yeah, like lines with the stuff to the plate. You'd rather all these rules till they're stuck in your brain. Get one alone, you know this step one. Starting on me, we're about to have fun. Now you that stuff, we're about to be done. What have you want? Don't let learning tell you
What the heck?
Take that, rewind it back. These shits have got the rhythm in the class go. Take that, rewind it back. Dr. Burke got the voice of in the class go. Take that, rewind it back. Mr. Winnick got the rhythm in the class go. Take that, rewind it back. These shits have got the rhythm in the class go.
I get the wide alone. I get the wide alone. I do the intercept. I do the intercept. I do the intercept. I do the intercept. Another slow day. Another slow day. Another slow day. Another slow day. Draw the line. Draw the line. Draw the line. Draw the line.
That was fun. Pretty gay.
All right, so what do you guys think? Pretty good?
That's you in 4 years.
Maybe we'll find another. Maybe Mr. Roy and I will make a video one day. We'll get like extra credit or something, you
I
know?
love that.
Yeah, that'd take a while to make a video like that. All right.
I'm gonna find
So now, hopefully, if you didn't remember, just think of that song in your head. Get the Y alone. Right? Get the Y alone. Right. Yep. Then get your intercept. Do the intercept. Right. And then draft your slope. All right. So.
DJ Higgs.
Yeah. So for tonight we'll do a study guide and it'll review for the test tomorrow. Okay? All right. So that's it for today.